Welcome to this daily guided meditation practice. This is the Attentive Mind. My name is Nathan, and I'll be guiding you through this meditation practice today. Find yourself a seated position. You could choose any position that works for you. The goal, of course, and as always, is to find something that is sturdy, so you don't feel like a sense of instability during the practice, and also something comfortable. We're not needing to shift and move during the practice. Sitting in a chair works really well. You can lie down, just find what works for you. We also keep our eyes open during this practice. However, if you need to close your eyes or you feel more comfortable closing your eyes or you've learned to close your eyes during practice, go ahead and do so. There are no hindrances here. But if your eyes are open, go ahead and just leave the screen alone. We look at them too much anyway. And drop your gaze gently down to the floor or the desk or whatever's just below you. We're not staring or analyzing, but we're also not blurry and zoned out. Just a gentle gaze directed softly and effortlessly downwards. You're in a nice, comfortable position, sturdy. Your eyes are either closed or open, directed softly downwards. Finally, all the planning, all the worries, the struggles, the doing, the happening, the chaos comes to an end right here. Finally. You've stretched yourself thin, doing this and that, chasing desires, chasing things you believe you want or need, chasing happiness and running away from pain and suffering. All of that ends now. Because you are here. That's all. All that time spent seeking things and trying to find happiness, find that goodie, is all in vain. Because you are here. There's nothing to find. So end your seeking. End it right now. And just be. for no reason at all. There's nowhere to go. There's nothing to do. And there's no one to become. So just rest. Completely rest. And maybe you'll notice that all the problems don't just go away. All the needs and the wanting to be happy, they don't just disappear because I say so. They keep coming up. In fact, when I first started talking again, you probably were interrupted in the middle of a thought, thinking about something, maybe planning, maybe thinking all this is a bunch of BS. But because we don't see this moment as it is, we don't recognize a thought as a thought. We think, or we feel rather, that thoughts are real and they're me. When the thought, I'm so tired, I just need to go to bed, or I can't meditate, it's not for me, when that thought arises, we believe it to be true. We don't see that it's just noise in the head, just chatter. So we must learn to leave thinking alone for things to really end. We must learn to let our thoughts do what they want to and not get involved. Notice where your attention is right now. Where do you feel the center of your focus right now? If you're normal, you probably feel it somewhere in your forehead or above your shoulders somewhere. Maybe it's a little vague, but probably around the area where thoughts come from. Now, see if we can just move that sense of attention to the coming and going of the breath. You can feel the breath in the nose, the chest, or the lower belly, or anywhere in between. Just find where you feel the breath the most. Thoughts will keep happening. They won't ever stop. But you don't have to pay attention to them. And so in the beginning, we learn to just leave them alone and bring our attention softly to something completely present, which is, of course, the breath. Just notice the sensations of breathing as the breath comes in, watch it carefully. And as it leaves, watch it carefully. Leave thinking alone and remain with breathing. And maybe I'm interrupting you again in the middle of a thought. That's okay. Return to the breath, rising and falling. Let your thoughts think what they want to. Don't ignore them or push them away. Simply remain with breathing, rising and falling. Return to breathing. Let the thought continue on, whatever it is. Just remain with the breath. Maybe I'm catching you thinking again. But instead of returning to the breath here, move attention instead to the one that thoughts are talking to. What are thoughts talking to? Can you find it with attention? We're not thinking about it. Your mind will say, I'm thinking. But what is this I? Can it be found in the same way we find the breath? Is there anything to actually be found? Turn the attention back. What turns attention? Look for the looker. What are you? Leave it alone. What are those thoughts talking to? What is doing the listening? Is there something to be found? If you don't understand, stay there and remain with the breath, completely not knowing and not understanding. Look for the looker. What sat down to meditate? What am I? All right, you can look at the screen. It's funny, isn't it? That we are always chasing something. Many of you you've probably even clicked on this video chasing something, wanting well-being or happiness, wanting this for your life, wanting that for your life. Feels crazy. Life does, you know? And it's understandable too. But there's something strange about all this. Because a lot of our wanting comes from a sense of confusion about the way things are. And this confusion stems from this idea or this sense of a self, this feeling of being a me, an I, with a story and problems and worries, and is trying to go from here to there, and was a person in the past, is a person now, and will be a person in the future. That, before I continue, I'm not saying there are no individual people and there are not individual things and the world doesn't exist. It does exist. I'm not saying that. But the feeling and the sensation of being a center of consciousness, some sort of center that everything comes to, the practice of meditation is to look at that. Because we're saying, I want happiness. I want this. I want that. What does? Well, me, obviously. My name's Nathan. I was born in Fort Worth, Texas, and now I live over here and I want to do this, and my goals are this, and I want to feel better. We don't notice that when we feel that way, what we're saying when we say who we are is a story. Words. You're not words. Words are a description. They're not you now. So I ask you during the practice, turn attention, look. Turn the attention, look. I want this. I want that. Okay, what is this I? What is the I that meditates? What are thoughts talking to? And you look, and there's nothing to find. The question, what am I, isn't to give you a new thing to look at. It is to dissolve the looker, the one who feels to be. This little I is the center of your troubles. It wants things and doesn't get things, so it's always unsatisfied. But we believe it's real just because of convention, just because of attaching to thoughts. When we say, it's very similar to saying, it is raining outside, right? We all know it's raining outside, or it's sunny. What is this it that is sunny? What is this it that is rainy? We just say it. It's a convention. So when we say, I'm tired, I want this, where is this I? Where? It's right here, right here, right here. Yeah, where? This is comic. I saw a long time ago. I think I was like 12 when I saw this. I didn't really understand it until, of course, later on. But there's this Buddhist monk sitting in meditation, and then there's this man. He's carrying a sign, and it says, "I want happiness." You probably may have seen this. It was on the internet, but it says, "I want happiness." And the monk takes his sign and says, "Well, your first problem is desire. Because if you desire something, you get it, but then you're wanting something else. So there's this perpetual chase of wanting. That's keeping you unhappy. It keeps you unsatisfied. Because sometimes you don't, actually a lot of the times you don't get what you want. And when you get what you want, you get bored of it quickly, then you want more. So let's get rid of the wants. But then there's this other problem. I, happiness, well, there's I. Do you know what you are? Are you real? The story that you tell yourself in your head, is that a real entity? Or is it something more like inches and feet, a convention of speech and measurement? You'll just get rid of that I. What are you left with? Happiness. Look for yourself. What am I? Then you can be truly, truly free and end the seeking mind. Thank you for your time today. Thank you for showing up for your life. And as always, I'll see you tomorrow.